It is our traditions, ceremonies, and rituals. Each small detail carries a deep layer of our ancestors' wisdom. It is our pride, our treasure, our national encyclopedia. Let's turn the pages of this encyclopedia together. Every stranger who arrives in Kazakhstan can notice the importance of meal in the Kazakh culture. During all celebrations like the birth of a child, his or her first steps, sundet toy, male circumcision, matchmaking, wedding, or the celebration of Nowruz, the Kazakhs serve a generous dastarkhan, table. People gather to taste meal. This unites them and gives an opportunity to feel the pleasures of life and to become a part of certain family. At the same time, there are some dishes in the national cuisine that are usually cooked and served only in special cases and events. They are part of the ancient rituals, and today we will tell about ritual meal. It is known from the history of some countries that formal wedding etiquette required to place an announcement of the engagement in the newspapers. Today we can learn about wedding in social network status and from the photos posted in Instagram. Meanwhile, we have preserved and many Kazakh families still arrange one of the ancient rituals, ritual of matchmaking called kudalık. This is a ritual snack called kuyruk bauır. The snack, which is cooked of slices of the liver and fat mutton, is served only in one case, when matchmakers, kudalar, visit their future relatives-in-law. Jingea, daughter-in-law or other women put this snack in one or several plates and treat matchmakers. With this sign, hosting family shows that they are ready to become relatives. If such snack is not treated, it means that family does not agree on matchmaking and marriage. Women first boil the liver and fat mutton and let them cool. Then they cut into slices, put the slices of the liver and fat mutton one above the other, and put toothpick, or nowadays plastic sticks are used. Everyone is served this snack and they can take the slices with these sticks. And when matchmakers have already tasted the snack, they put money.
Пошли, допустим, вот одни съедают здесь много, вот по ходу это движение кушает, и это самое сваты деньги ложат.
The word bauır means kinship. On the one hand, this is the symbolic meaning of the close kinship. On the other hand, fat is added to the liver, and this symbolizes abundance and prosperity. The serve of the snack kuyruk bauır symbolizes that two families have become close relatives. The other dish of unity is called tıstık, mutton brisket. Usually the matchmakers and particularly the groom are served this dish, but not everyone knows the original meaning of this Kazakh ritual. The ritual dishes are served these days also. For example, the ritual of treating the son-in-law to the mutton brisket is still remained, and it is very interesting ritual. The brisket has a symbolic function. It symbolizes the friendship and close relations. For example, we have the expression "toy to storu," which means to greet each other with hugs. Or another expression of the close relationship, "төске демалы, төсекте басы қосылған құдалық," which is translated as matchmaking, after which cattle were united on the mountain and people were united in the yurt. Mutton brisket is served to a son-in-law, the groom, as he is the main person in the friendship of two families. There is another amazing fact about mutton brisket. Mutton has the ingredient which determines the taste of meat, so most of this ingredient is contained in the brisket. And the most delicious part of mutton is the brisket fat. And we can say that this is an example of the ancient nomads' knowledge of the facts that are discovered now only by science and modern cuisine. So the treating of the son-in-law to the most delicious part of meat symbolizes the consent and close kinship. This is our Kazakh feature. Kazan cooking pot was always in the center of the Kazakh yurt. It was never left open or empty. Food, grace of heaven, was collected in Kazan. Kazan was considered as the basis of life. Food is a symbol of good, and nowadays, after the mealtime, the Kazakhs wish each other, may this house be full of food and meal. The following ritual is still alive: cooking of kalja. Kalja is a ritual meal for the mother to recover after the baby delivery. Hot soup, meat and liver is served to her first, and then only relatives and guests are treated. Relatives sacrifice lamb and cook dish with mutton. Relatives should bite meat off the vertebrae. Some families do not throw the bone away. They hang it above the door or on the cradle, and it is removed when the child learns holding his head up. Everyone can notice the variety of dairy products in the national cuisine of the Kazakhs. The ancient nomads knew about the health benefits of dairy products, especially kumis, drink made from mare's milk. People of the nomadic culture had some kind of knowledge about bacteria and its effects. Maybe they had the idea of parasites. They did not have microscopes and electronics. Nevertheless, people knew that it's not safe to drink fresh cow milk. It should be boiled or curdled. Fermented milk, sour milk, has properties good for health, i.e., it has beneficial bacteria, what is now in yogurt products with prefixes bifido or lacto. Our ancestors knew about this and other drinks which have such bacteria. And somehow they used to make sour milk. They used ashetkhe for this. They added small parts of the rennet bag to the dish with milk, and thus milk was curdled and strained. All drinks like ayran, kumis and shubat, all of them are made of milk. There is a special sacred attitude to dairy products in Kazakhstan. Our ancestors considered it as the gift given by the Mayor of Heaven. For example, it was prohibited to empty the bowl of unfinished milk, kumis or ayran. It was considered as a bad omen. The foal could die. If during the hot time mare's milk spoiled, then it was poured strictly in a certain place, in the middle of cattle. And in the old days, it was forbidden to sell kumis and any dairy products. In the 19th century, the scientist Shokan Valihanov described one of the rituals. During the first spring thunder, the owner ran out of the yurt with a bucket in his hands. He ran around, hit the walls of the yurt with the bucket and was saying, "There is much milk but little coal." Then he poured some milk at the threshold and hung the bucket near the door on keregia, wooden lattice of the yurt. Valihanov told that this was arranged with the desire of milk abundance and increase of livestock. In summer, the nomads mainly ate dairy products, and in winter, meat products. There is one folk tradition associated with meat and its preparation. It's called sogem. Before the winter starts, the Kazakhs used to slaughter a dozen sheep for meat. Sheep are small, and this meat could be enough for a single family for a long time, but there were no refrigerators. So neighbors also ate this meat. For example, one family cooked some dish with this meat. They invited relatives and neighbors, so almost the whole aul gathered. Then the second family cooked, and so in every house of the village. People visited each other, communicated and ate this meat so that it hadn't spoiled. When winter was close, the Kazakhs started to prepare stocks of meat. It is sogem, and this meat was kept in the frost. The ritual of sogem is also one of the big holidays when people can gather and communicate. People visit each other, they visit this family. This family is preparing sogem and they invited us. Let's go tomorrow. And that's how they met the winter. So sogem is the slaughter of cattle. It is the preparation of food for the winter. In the northern parts, it becomes extremely cold in November, December. At that time, the Kazakhs prepare sogem. For example, they slaughtered horse for sogem. Usually the Kazakhs did not slaughter cow for sogem. In general, the Kazakhs prefer horse, sheep or camel because these animals move fast and easy. Sheep and horse can breathe themselves in the winter. They can find feeds even under ice and snow, but cows have cloven hoofs and are not able to find feeds themselves. That's why cows were not kept as cattle during the times of the nomadism. Cows could not walk far and were not able to find feeds themselves in the winter. Sogim is one of the most favorite traditions in Kazakhstan because it is connected with the arrival of guests in the house, warm communication, pleasure of shared meal. The next ritual of Kazakh hospitality is the custom called sybaga. In English, this word means share, proportion. Sybaga is a part of Sogim. It is a share which is given to relatives, matchmakers, respectable people, and aksakals. The Kazakhs keep sybaga till the arrival of the honorable guests, or they send sybaga to respectable people through the messenger with special greetings. Elder men who received sybaga give blessing, expressing gratitude and tell good wishes to the owners of Shanrak house, who respect and follow the customs. The Kazakhs have the whole ritual and etiquette, whom and why these or that parts of meal should be served to. This refers to sybaga and all ritual treats in general. And of course, this distribution has limitations. For example, the girls and ladies are not served to alnarbon, so that they do not become the old maids. Karıcılık means old bone. Brains are not given to children, otherwise they will become sluggish and weak, like brains. Tolarsak, it is one of the ankle bones, is not given to young women, otherwise they will have difficult delivery.
Малшылық қауымда өзі жаңағы малдың әрбір
In pastoralist societies, each part of carcass of livestock had its own symbolic function. That is why these parts are served as ritual dishes. You know that the head is given to the most honorable guest, the elder person. This means the beginning of the world and the leadership. Therefore, rulers of society are served to the head. The next important part with a symbolic meaning is janbaz, knuckle, iliac and pelvic bones with meat of ram and horse with. It is boiled in soup and given to the honorable guest separately. The word janbaz means the place of the soul, the source of life, the beginning. Janbaz, asıkcılık, tibia. These names of parts of meat, concepts, even the treating order, the types of dishes, fulfill the function of determining attitude towards people and towards their status in society. Do you remember the ritual kudalık, during which the bride's side serves the ritual dishes? So the groom's relatives arrange another ritual in response. The main matchmaker, baskuda, should divide meat which is on the plate into separate pieces, and he should distribute these pieces among the participants with good wishes. Such tasty parts as tongue, ears and kidneys are given to children, and while giving these parts, elders say following words: "Be as gentle as these kidneys." While giving shoulder with meat, baskuda can say, "May our hugs and friendship be inseparable like these shoulders." With pershek, it is hard bag stuffed with tender meat and fat, is given to the girls and daughters-in-law with the words, "May you bloom for a long time." The chief matchmaker should be able to cope well with the ceremony. He should give ears to the children of this house, the tongue to the women of this house. He should distribute all parts, and in general, he should cut meat having shown his culinary abilities. He should add small parts of fat mutton. After removing meat from the head, he should open the skull and take brains. Then he mixes all parts and they are added to sorpa, soup. Some people add greens also, and everyone tries this. First matchmakers are served, then relatives. Now a few words about the tradition called sarkıt. After it, memorial rituals, wedding and various celebrations, the Kazakh women certainly take the sweets, borshaks, fried dove pieces, which they treat children and grandchildren at home. The pieces of meat that are left on the plates are also called sarkıt. Some people connect this custom with educational meaning, so that people respect food and do not throw it away. Every guest can be sure that he or she will not be left without treats, and moreover, relatives who were not able to come to the family feasts will receive their own portion of treats. The Kazakh village does not exist in the way it used to be, and there are no nomads, wandering people. But most of prairie folkways and traditions still surround us. We follow them, but we not always know what they mean. Bahit Kairbekov, poet.